Spiritual Teaching 323. Love each other. 1. I come to deliver my teaching to your spirit. I come to feed it and strengthen it with my love. 2. Beloved children, you are my toddlers, my little children who walk on earth carrying bitterness and suffering. Blessed are those who leave the path of sin, so that their spirit may draw near to me. 3. The Father teaches you how you should receive and how you should ask, because in truth I tell you that if you cleanse yourself of sin, you will bear my forgiveness, and you will be comforted. 4. I come to cleanse you of every stain, so that you can receive my charity. But of that charity you will never deprive yourself, because it comes from my divine Spirit, and it is the inheritance that you will carry on your way. I am the teacher. I come to give you my doctrine again, so that you can carry it in your heart and give it as I have given it to you. 5. Consciousness is like a mirror in which your spirit is contemplated. I tell you, it is not the time that you contemplate yourself needy before that mirror, because I have come to give you my light, my sublime word, so that you will need nothing tomorrow, so that you will be obedient to my law and continue giving to humanity the example as did my apostles of the second era. 6. He is not the spokesman from whom you receive this teaching, because he is a sinner like you. I have taken him out of his ways, and I have prepared him to give you my word through him. The essence of this doctrine is my own essence. 7. From the second era I have told you, love one another, because he who loves his companions loves me. 8. I do not come to distinguish you by race or colors or by class. I speak to all of you equally, so that you carry a single will, so that you receive with a smile, and with your open arms, your brothers, who come from different nations, practicing this love. Tomorrow there will be no wars. Death will no longer rule over humanity. Not to blame me, O humanity, for your wars. 9. Do not fall into confusion. Do not form a new Tower of Babel, so that those who approach you can find you all prepared equally. The unbeliever has to bear test to recognize the wonders of the Father, so that your spirit, through my word, recognize your God. 10. The test will be of love, because the crystalline water has to flow from the hardest stone. 11. Elevate yourselves to me, and I will remove all disease from you, because I am the doctor of doctors. I will leave in you all that, spiritually, humanity has need of. And when you are recognized, all will have recognized me in my spiritual work, the doctrines of the earth, because this is my will. 12. I have left prayer among you as a bulwark. That is why I say to you, watch and pray, so that for you I may reach salvation to humanity, so that you deliver the word you are receiving in due time. 13. The time in which you live, which is of such spiritual importance for all men, is passing unnoticed for humanity. However, the moment will come when it will be recognized as of great importance, not only in the life of the people who received this message, but in the history of all the peoples of the earth. 14. Think of the greatness it means to listen to my word, but don't go to rest on your laurels, because at the same time that you must feel the joy of having this grace, you must know that your responsibility before the peoples, your brothers, it is very great, since you have to bring them the testimony of what you received in these times. 15. Blessed are those who keep my word in their hearts, because they will love their cross and carry it with them to the doors of his brothers, bringing them the message of light, peace, and love, which in my word I entrusted to this people. 16. Each of my lessons for this year of 1950 is one of preparation for when the moment comes to terminate my communication with you. Why cry then, when I am giving you everything, so that you do not need anything? No, do not cry for the departure of my word, people. I have already told you that my essence will be kept in your heart, and if your memory was fragile, I will inspire some of my children to collect in books and albums the pages and writings that they have been made on my word. 17. Strengthen yourselves in meditation and prayer. You are human and small, and in the farewell of my manifestation, you will have to be moved in your whole being. How can this people not tremble on that day, if, all over the earth, in one or another, will be men who have no idea of my presence in the third era, will have to feel it? 18. When the light has been made in the understanding of humanity, men will come to the understanding that all the events surrounding the end of 1950 were testimony that the stage of my communication had concluded, as well as the initiation of this time. It was also announced by events that moved men of the whole world. 19. I am preparing and preventing you when the confusion of ideas arises, so that you can free yourself from the inner struggle of the spirit and the torture of thought, because all ideas, doctrines, theologies, philosophies, and beliefs will be removed of humanity, symbolizing a tempest, a true tempest of the spirit, over whose rippling waters I want you to sail, staying afloat until the storm and darkness pass. I do not give you a better formula to get ahead in the test than prayer and the practice of my word, by means of which is your faith. You will continually feel empowered. 20. That struggle of ideas, that encounter between creeds and ideologies, that battle, are indispensable so that all the blemishes and errors come to the surface that have accumulated at the bottom of each cult and each institution. Only after, out of that storm, may come a moral and spiritual purification of men, because they will see the truth emerge. They will know it, they will feel it within themselves, and they will no longer be able to feed on appearances or fictions. 21. Just as each man takes freely and by himself the necessary action of the sun on his body, recognizing that in its light, its warmth and its influence is material life, so they will take from the light of truth what they need for sustenance, strength, and illumination of his spirit. 22. Then will come a force never felt by man, because his life will begin to attach itself to the true principles, to the standards established by my law. 23. It is up to you, people, to take my message of spirituality that I have brought to the world, but I want you to understand that the way to extend this light has two aspects. One, completely spiritual through thought, prayer, with which you will establish an environment of spirituality, and the other, spiritual and human, through the word of the material presence, of the explanation of my word to the patient. Remember the example of Jesus. 24. If you had a great faith and a greater knowledge about the force from prayer, how many works of charity would you do with your thoughts? But you have not granted her all the power that she has, and that is why many times you do not realize what you reject in a moment of heartfelt and true prayer. 25. Don't you realize that something superior is preventing the most inhumane war of all, yours from unleashing wars? Don't you understand that millions of prayers of men, women, and children influence that miracle, that with your spirit fight the darkness and fight the influence of war? Keep praying, keep watching, but put in that act all the faith that you are capable of. 26. Pray, people, and over war, pain, and misery, spread the mantle of peace of your thoughts, forming with them a shield, under whose protection your brothers will illuminate and take refuge. 27. If for the moment the world is so blind that it cannot see the light of truth, nor can it hear in the depths of its being my call, you pray and gain ground spiritually, since in these moments you would not be heard, because all peoples are devoted to preparing to destroy and defend themselves. 28. Men will still have to blind themselves more when despair, hatred, terror, and pain reach their limits. 29. That would not be the right time to deliver my message either, because you would be like town criers in the middle of a desert. Nobody would listen to you. 30. Do not forget that the human heart is like the land that is going to be cultivated. First, it must be cleaned, removing its rocks and pulling out the weeds that cover it. Then it must be fertilized with irrigation so that in its entrails germinate a seed, and finally, it is necessary to arrive in time to sow the seed before the earth tires of waiting and the time is ripe. 31. Thus, in this humanity, a work of purification is being carried out, in which man, without realizing it, has offered himself the chalice that will restore its purity. 32. All the pain that is being prepared, it will serve to soften your heart, so that at last it expels the most deep within his being, how much evil has germinated in him, and when he can no longer suffer or feel more anguish, he will feel in his heart the light of consciousness, the sweetness of repentance, the sap of a new life for your spirit. 33. Once prepared, cleansed, and purified by pain, and later fruitful with the dew of repentance and reflection, the man will be about to receive the divine seed of spirituality, because his entrails, already ennobled with the repentance and the purpose of amending and restoring, they will be eager to receive in their bosom the seed of love, of peace and wisdom. 34. What will become of this humanity if, when I was looking forward to the arrival of my message, this people had not prepared to present himself to his brothers as envoys or peasants of my word? 35. How great is your responsibility, disciples, so great that you will have to answer to me for each one of the minutes that I have entrusted to you for the performance of your mission. 36. I have told you that for now you raise your prayer, that is, that you begin by acquiring a true knowledge of the mission that you are going to fulfill, that you go exercising your heart through the practice of charity, that little by little you give sensitivity to your being, striving to combat your egoism, that is, the fruit of materialism. Then spirituality will penetrate in you. 37. Stop being toddlers, so that when I tell you to pray, you will understand that I ask you for good deeds, since they are, and not your words or thoughts, which truly speak to my spirit. One thought, however beautiful that it is, if it is not felt, it lacks essence. A word or phrase, no matter how beautifully said, if it transforms not into work, it will not have life, and you already know that what does not have life does not exist. Therefore, it cannot be received by me. 38. You already know, when I tell you to pray, not only prepare yourself to penetrate the interior recollection of your thought, but also leave that sanctuary and leave in each of your brothers a garment of true brotherhood, as the most proof that you live watching and praying for your fellow men. 39. Thus your defects will be removed. You will fight your disunity, and you will achieve that preparation that I speak to you so much of in my lessons. 40. If By the time humanity claims my new message in its heart, this people had not prepared through practice, nor would it have been purified in a fight of love against hatred, of charity against selfishness, and of peace against discord, sickness, and hardship. Do not wait with a single word to reach the bottom of hearts, persuading them of my truth. 41. Therefore, at the same time that I am giving you my word, I am telling you to put it into practice, because only in this way you will be able to understand the essence of my teachings, its content, and its infinite goodness. 42. From 1866 to 1950, 84 years have elapsed, a whole stage of spiritual revelations in which the light divine has shone without ceasing on all spirit and on all flesh, in which the spirit world has manifested itself to this people in one form and in many others throughout humanity. 43. The moment has come to say goodbye to you through the means chosen by my will for my communication in this time, but I will wait for your preparation and your spirituality in order to resume my communication with humanity, although no longer using brains to transmit my messages, but seeking direct communication of my spirit with yours. 44. When I said through the mouth of an ancient prophet that times would come when my spirit would be poured out on all spirit and above all flesh, and that men would have prophetic visions and dreams, I was referring precisely to this time that is approaching, in which the gifts that every spirit possesses will emerge, seeking divine truth and witnessing the fulfillment of what was prophesied to you. 45. Do not fear the day when I will speak to you for the last time, nor fear the time of meditation, when you will not listen to my words through human lips, because in truth I tell you that I will be present, without neglecting you or abandon you for a moment, encouraging your faith with my charity, making you feel my presence in various ways, filling your meetings of essence and divine effluvia, inspiring you with thoughts, deeds, and words, leading your steps, and avoiding falls and trips. 46. Do not be afraid of the new time. Do not doubt my presence in spirit, because I will make you hear my voice, reproaching your doubt, saying to you, "Ah, men of little faith, you need to see and touch in order to believe." 47. If you really aspire to penetrate into spirituality, to call yourselves worthily my disciples in this third era, meditate deeply on these solemn moments, on these lessons, which are being the last you will have to receive. 48. I want you, as good disciples, to imitate your Master in his truth, so that throughout your walk you fulfill your mission, without ever leaving the route traced by the law and consciousness. 49. If I announced my coming to you many centuries ago, I kept my promise, yes. Once communicated through my spokespersons, I promised you a time of complacency in which I would speak to you tirelessly from the spirit realm. I have. But if I revealed to you the date on which I will conclude this message, I want and I must comply, because in my will there can be no change, nor can my divine words undergo variation, nor is there another power or another will to change the destiny of life and beings. 50. Everything was planned by me from eternity. Nothing escaped my wisdom. All time was marked from the beginning, and all destiny was traced. Even though men have never harmonized their will with mine, not for that, my will has ceased to be done. 51. I have always given you time for your preparation and have provided you with the means to save yourself. Prior to sending you my justice to take account of you at the end of an era or a stage, I have manifested my love to you, warning you and exhorting you to repentance, amendment, and good. But when the hour of justice has arrived, I have not presented myself to ask you if you have already repented, if you have already prepared, or if you are still immersed in evil and disobedience. My justice has come at the appointed hour, and he who knew how to build his ark in time was saved, and he who scoffed how much it was announced the hour of justice and did nothing for his salvation, he had to perish. 52. Meditate on what I am saying, so that you know that your will can never change mine, although sometimes it comes to seem to you that the hour of justice has arrived. I will visit you and touch you, to give to each one according to merits, because before I spoke to you with love and light, so that with time you would be building the ark of salvation, that in which the days of greater justice could rescue you from perishing under the waters of universal purification. 53. If this event has not yet taken shape in the nursery and the latter, the responsibility remains with the older in the first, in the disciples, so that they teach their little brothers how to obey the will of the Father, and how his law is fulfilled. But I tell you, if they did not know how to set an example of obedience, testimony of my truth, I will give you one more proof of my justice, and how my will is fulfilled above all. 54. You ask yourselves in the bottom of your heart, why do I sometimes have severe demands on your spirit? And I tell you, if when you were trained, I had denied you one of my attributes, you would be right to complain or be surprised by my claims. But when I know that in your being I have deposited something of each of my powers, virtues, and attributes, and that I have also made revelations to you about my law, about your destiny, and about life, giving you enough time for your understanding, evolution, and development, just as you must consider that I descend to you to judge your works and the use that you have given my gifts. 55. I tell you again that if only one of my attributes had denied you, I would not have the right to claim your errors that you commit in your life. 56. With this, you will be able to understand that there does not exist, nor has there been, a human being in whom there has not been a spirit encouraging him, nor has there ever been a spirit that lacked consciousness. 57. What greater glory for man to know that he is animated by a being of light, an inhabitant of the spirit realm, an envoy or messenger from a higher world, and on the other hand, what greater happiness for the spirit to know that the luminous beacon of consciousness goes with it eternally. Is it the light of divinity lighting the way? But, as you have wasted your time occupied only in the material, moving away more every day from thoughts and spiritual life, as even your religion suffer from a lack of spirituality, you have a lethargic, sickly, and gloomy humanity, which upon hearing the voice of its Father, who presents himself to judge and claim him, he is surprised at the claim, and wonders, why so much rigor towards this weak people, small, sick, and innocent? But he does not realize that the reason does not assist him when he replies like this to the voice of his master, because it is not weak, since it carries within itself the strength that God endowed it with. Nor is it small, because in its spiritual formation and corporal is the wisdom and perfection with which I formed him. Nor is it innocent, because through consciousness it occurs a perfect account of what he does, what he must do, and what he does not do. And if you feel sick, it is because of your lack of harmony with the spiritual, as well as with the material. They have distanced it from the main sources of life, such as the spiritual communication with me and contact with his mother, nature. 58. I invite you to meditate deeply on my word, and I must tell you that if after listening to me, someone continues to consider unfair my claims and my judgments, it will have been because he could not penetrate in the sense of my word, and I will have to forgive their hardness of heart and understanding. 59. You have been on trial for a long time, beloved people, because it is necessary that you purify yourselves, so that you become worthy of going to deliver my word to your brothers, now that the nations need a message of peace so much. 60. I will not send as emissaries those who are dead to the life of grace, because they will have nothing to deliver. No, I will not give that mission to those who have not cleansed their hearts of selfishness. 61. The emissary of my word will have to be a disciple of mine, whose simple presence makes my peace felt in hearts. He will have to possess the virtue of knowing how to comfort his brothers, even in difficult times, and in his word there will always be a light that dispels all darkness of the spirit or understanding. 62. I found this people dead and raised them with the light of my word. Why shouldn't my people be able to do the same with their brothers, if that is what I have come to teach them? 63. When I speak of the dead, I mean those who have died for the faith, for the good, for the truth. And I can tell you that in each one of you, when you arrived before my manifestation, there was a dead person. 64. My word, touching the stone of your heart, made the spirit shudder, long buried under the materialism of your life. 65. Unknown sensations, hidden tenderness, and delights of the spirit made you experience my word. Greedily you arrived before the divine ray communicated by the spokesperson, to enjoy that essence that you felt descending from what is infinite toward your heart. 66. Instances of true peace for you have been those in which, transported towards a world of light and perfections, you have forgotten your earthly vicissitudes. 67. Then your heart has overflowed in thanksgiving, because when you expect nothing from life but pain, you tore the veil of mystery, and a ray of divine light descended into your spirit as a message of love, of truth, and of consolation. 68. In your dark, painful, and monotonous life, the unexpected miracle of my return arose, through a spiritual and mental communication at the same time. 69. From that day on, a new life appeared before your eyes. The shadows of doubt and uncertainty fled, and in your heart became light. 70. That is the new dawn of which I speak so much in my word. That is the new day before which you have awakened. 71. You already have hope. You already feel safe. You already know what you have to do to live within this path. 72. In your heart, noble resolutions, good intentions, beautiful projects have been born. 73. The path extends luminous before your eyes, inviting you incessantly to travel it, to show you its beauties, and reveal new teachings to you at every step. 74. Who among you does not want that wonderful awakening in all humanity? Who among you will want this treasure for himself only? None. I see in every heart the longing for universal resurrection, the desire for peace and light in all men. In truth, I tell you that longing, growing each day in your heart, will be the force that leads you tomorrow to fight for the realization of the ideal that my word has made to be born in your spirit. 75. I will provide my people with the means to carry my message to all nations. I will grant that their step find men of good will to help you carry my messages to the ends of the earth. My peace be with you.